Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. Today, we're going to be diving into tariffs and entrepreneurship. And on this topic today, I have two guests. We're going to be discussing the roadblocks, others, and some see a golden opportunity. So with these two guests today, we're going to be talking all about those two topics. So I hope you guys are ready. I have on my screen, it might look different than everybody else's screen, but on my screen, I got Mr. Ezra, which I'm not going to dare to pronounce his last name. Not look that bad. And I'm also going to introduce to you guys Mr. Mark, Coach Tirolia. All right. They're going to be on the show today to help me unpack this tariffs and entrepreneurship that I attacked or spoke about last week. Guys, how you doing today? Please introduce yourselves. Let's start with Ezra. Introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself to the people watching.
Yes, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ezra Gervais. I am an entrepreneur. I focus on, insurance. Good to be here. It's not my first time here, so I guess I'm doing good. Being a guest again. So glad to be here. Let's talk business.
All right, and Mr. Coach.
Okay, hey, look, guys. My name is Mark Tirolia. Mark like Mark Twain. Marco like Marco Polo. And yes, I am an entrepreneur, and I specialize in the financial industry. And I am blessed to be here. And how I'm feeling world class, my brothers.
Oh, I love that. How you feeling is world class. All right.
That's
So
right.
we're gonna dive right into it to make sure we use both of your gentlemen's time wisely. I got some questions, and guys, or those of you that are watching, feel free to ask questions as well. Well, they don't know what I'm gonna ask. I don't know what you might ask, so please feel free. We're talking about tariffs and entrepreneurship. Okay. So here's my opening questions. What would you say entrepreneurship today is harder or easier than it was 10 years ago, and why? Who wants to take that question? Is it easier 10 years ago or now, entrepreneurship as a whole? We're just getting warm, guys. There's a warm-up question.
I would say that it's easier because there's so many levels of entry when it comes to entrepreneurship. You look at social media today, you can be a successful podcaster. You can be successful in a lot of different areas when it comes to content and generate funds, right? Entrepreneur is basically you're providing a service. You're fulfilling a need. You have a market that's in need of something, and they're willing to pay you for you to provide that solution, whether it's entertaining, whether it's financial services, whether it's a slice of pizza. I feel like it's easier to get into entrepreneurship.
Okay. So you think it's easier now? Mm-hmm.
I think I agree, but I'm gonna disagree for today because with a lot of options, people get confused and they get paralyzed, and they're gonna, because it's so many options and it's so easy to do it, they won't do it. And then they're gonna put it on the back end and say, you know what, because it's there. Just like, let's say, for example, if I had 20 water bottles laying right there, right? Because it's so accessible, I won't grab one because it's always gonna be up. But if I have one right there, I'm gonna take it because somebody might take it from me. If that makes sense. Because there's so many opportunities out here, people are paralyzed and they won't even attack it. So it might be easier, but less people are getting into it now, I would say.
I see what you're
Okay,
saying.
okay. I see what you're saying. I see. I'm gonna split it here just because we got a left and a right. I'm gonna go with Ezra. The reason I think it's
The left
easier
and right.
now, the left and right. I'm gonna say Ezra because in my opinion there's more opportunity.
Right.
Where back then I think it took a little more risk and skill and luck. Where now you have more chances to get into an opportunity, quote unquote, fail and jump into another opportunity, being that there's so many. So I feel like you have more of a chance to fail forward, if you would. So that's why I
Yeah.
think that these are now as opposed to then, because if you get into something then and you risk it all and you fail, you're done. Like most people are just done with entrepreneurship. So you have other chances to get on the horse. If you're not good at marketing, let's get into trucking. You're not good in trucking, let's try drop shipping. You have easier ways to find your niche and what you're
Mhm.
good at, where back then it took a little more time. That's just the way I see it as far as opportunity. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but I think you had more opportunity being that we have such a vast amount, especially with social media. I
Yeah.
do have a question for you both, being that I know you guys personally. Some of our viewers might not. And in some of your stories, I wouldn't say you failed, but you didn't do as well as you feel you could have in certain, because hindsight is 2020. You guys see more now than you did back then. So what motivates you to stay in business despite the economic uncertainties like tariffs, inflation or global competition? Like, especially the fields you guys are in, there's so much competition. What makes you say, you know what, I'm going to stay in business? Because a lot of people like the uniqueness of their business. Once they find their niche, it's hard. If there's no competition, you're it. You're the best game in town. But now in your fields, you guys have competition left, right, up, down, is everywhere. So what keeps you in business?
So I'll go first this time. So what keeps me in business? What? Well, it's more about the people that I'm helping and developing and mentoring. What keeps me in business? Because I passed the stage of the selfish stage of looking out for myself. What can I do for me and my family? So now it's more about other people, family. Now it's interesting, great question, because I don't think the tariffs affect the industry that we're in. Matter of fact, COVID exposed the industry that we're in. Everything went up because people were in fear for their lives. And when people are afraid, people invest in themselves. And when they invest in themselves, they like to protect themselves. Um, now, that's a great question, man. I could go on for the next 30 minutes, but I'm gonna let Mr. Ezra piggyback off that question. That was a powerful question, man.
I would say for
Thank you.
me, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a good question. I would say for me, it's a couple of things. The first thing that comes to mind is you've built something so good that you don't want to turn back. You know what I'm saying? You want to see it to the finish line. Right? So for me, no matter the ups and downs, the passion for me to continue on in business is still there because I want to see it finished. I want to see a finished work, and also same as coach when it comes to helping others, providing them service, helping others when it comes to building their business and being successful. I love to see that. I love to support. I don't care if you selling ice cream. I'm gonna share your business, because I just love when people take a risk on themselves and they bet on themselves. So I feel like even though things might get tough, whatever it may be, I still want to push further because you could be one sale away for your business, to take off. You could be one person or one network meeting away for your business to take off. So that keeps me going.
And one thing too, you said about competition. That was a powerful answer, Ezra. Competition. I love competition. Everybody should love competition. Competition makes you better. Think about it. When you go downtown in Miami, the Seaboy building, why all the jewelers is in one place? Because they could have chose anywhere else, but all of them chose to be in one spot. Think about that. Because they want to be challenged. They want to get better. They want to get better. Because if Sally next to me is selling flowers, and I'm selling flowers too, that's gonna make me better because I gotta outdo her now. Now I gotta work on my skills, my communication. I gotta work on negotiating now. I gotta look for better product now. So competition is healthy. Do not run from competition. This is good.
Yeah. Okay. Some people shy away from competition, but competition does bring out the best in people.
It does.
It does. It should. Now, and also there's a catch to that too. The person you should be in competition with is the person you used to be yesterday. You should be trying to be better than that person from
that's good.
Your identity from you was yesterday too. So
okay. So there's always someone to compete against, whether it's someone literally or at least yourself. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. Get ready for this one because this one's you're gonna have to dig deep, right? Here you go. What's one lesson you've learned that today's aspiring entrepreneurs need to understand?
Man.
Say it again.
What is one lesson that you have learned that today's entrepreneurs need to understand? And I you know what? I'll start it off for you guys so you guys can think about it. Here's one thing I've learned. If it feels like it's a get rich quick scheme, run, because it probably is. To me, I think that entrepreneurs need to understand that there are dips and there are valleys. Can you avoid them? Yes, but there's still going to be a dip and there's still going to be a valley, because if there's a peak, there has to be a valley, and you have to expect it. So one of the things that I feel that people need to learn is to really understand that no business is where you turnkey and you become rich in a month. It all takes time. And if you have the proper mentorship, the proper guidance, and the proper coaches, all you do is collapse time. But you're not going to go from broke to rich overnight. I mean, we're reading an interesting book in our organization that I've read multiple times. And the book is 3 Feet from Gold. And there's so many different stories there that even the guy that created Chick-fil-A said, it took me 20 years to be an overnight success. Everything takes time. It all depends. It takes a little bit of luck, hard work, and mentorship. And the harder you work, the luckier you get. That's my 2 bits.
Yeah.
So I would say this, Leo, Israel, you said it's not, if it's a get rich scheme.
Get rich quick scheme. Get rich quick scheme.
Okay. So do y'all two want to get rich slow?
I was just about to say that, yeah.
No. But what you want to, but people think it's like, hey, if you sell this pen, you'll be rich tomorrow. That's not how it works.
So my mantra has always been hurry up and wait. That means go at it 100,000%. Focus to that bullseye. That means get laser-like focus and be patient along with it, right? That's what that means. So it depends, because if I told you, if you focus on one thing and you do this and do that, and it's ethical, you don't have to rob nobody, you won't go to jail, you treat people nice, and you do it for 5 years, would you do it and you be rich?
Absolutely, but that's not quick. I guess quick is everything.
Well, it depends on who it's coming from.
Right.
Because if I'm going to school to become a doctor, that's a long time to be successful. That's 12, 15 years. Now, it depends. How much time do you have? If I'm talking to a 21-year-old, if I told you could be rich in 40 years is going to be like 20 years. By the time you turn 40, you'll be rich. That's like this. But compared to us, somebody who's in their 40s already or in their late 30s, that takes too long. People don't have the patience. And what I learned is having more patience while waiting, but hurry and wait. It's by going 100%, 100 miles an hour, but having some patience along with it. That's what I have learned.
Good. So you learn patience is key. All right, Ezra, give it to me.
Yeah, I would say, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal.
Ooh.
It's business, whether it be with when you're talking about, business partners or whatever case may be, or just with clients. Don't take it personal. Sometimes we get caught up in that sale that we thought we was gonna get, and then it just fumbles at the 1 yard line. And then you get personal with it. Don't take it personal. Some things happen. You got to keep on moving. You got to keep putting in work and putting in action. If people don't answer your phone calls, don't take it personal. Things happen or whatnot. So because I see a lot of people when they start business, they're posting about it on Instagram and social media about it, and then they start ridiculing people. Like, man, y'all don't want to support people. Y'all don't want to support my business. Yeah, man, this is why we could never, come together. Like, they start complaining, man. We try to help y'all. And it's just like, listen, don't take it personal. That's just the market. You got to do what you have to do to be effective in the market, but don't take it personal when people are not calling you or you post something and you're only getting 2 likes. Don't take it personal. Just keep going. Find a way to make it better and endure.
Can I add something to that? Dude, that's 100%. Now, if I can add something to it, it'll be stay excited.
Yes.
Stay motivated and excited while you're going through your like you said, Leo, your values, your
Instagram and social media about it, and then
go ahead. I'm listening. That was the feedback.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, when you're going through your peaks and valleys, your up and down, and you can stay excited. If you stay excited the same way you started when you put your business plan together, when you was excited about telling everybody what you're about to do, stay excited from birth through the whole journey.
Okay. I got one for you right now. Now we're gonna get to the spicy stuff where you guys might start talking politics. This is scary. I'll start off simple. Do you see tariffs as a obstacle for entrepreneurs, or do you see it as creating opportunities?
It depends because I'm not.
Oh no, you don't stay on the fence.
No, I'm saying if I'm you have these businesses that are they're international, they're worldwide, so they so it might affect them heavily. I don't know how it's going to affect me. That's a good question. I haven't really researched on that as much, but here's what I would say. I feel as if, and I think any entrepreneur will feel this, there's always going to be some type of obstacle. There's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be, something that's going to stop you. And you got to figure out, okay, do I need to go through it? Do I need to go around it? Do I need to hop around it? But you're not going to let it stop you. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, as they say. So I don't feel like it's going to stop anybody. It may cause you to reroute yourself or pivot, but it's not stopping nobody.
Okay, Coach, go ahead.
I see this as an opportunity for a domestic explosion. That's what I see. If you're creative, you see this, right? This is your gold rush to get creative. Okay, now I can make more money and I have a better opportunity because the competition is slim now. Because remember, our competition was outside of the country when it comes to product at a reasonable price. So now, let's say, for example, if you sell shoes, Ezra, Leo, you're selling hats. And I used to buy hats from out of the U.S. and I used to buy shoes from out of the U.S. Now I have to support you. And guess what? Because I support you, you're going to support me. So guess where that money goes? Into rotation.
Yeah.
It works out like that. Now we could build the community back when it comes to product. Now services, that's going to be hard to match. But when it comes to product, I see an explosion, a domestic explosion for people who want to be creative when it comes to products and merchandise.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, I see it that way too. Now, let me ask you, this was one of the things I talked about last week. What are some fields that you feel, like 3 different industries that you feel that people could get into if they were starting to start their path to entrepreneurship? What would be the 3 fields and why?
Well, I'm biased, so I'll let Israel answer that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because we're probably gonna say the same thing. One of them is definitely financial services. I mean, that's one of the easiest fields. Of course, you have to get licensed. You have to have the proper credentials. But I feel as if you know how to study and you can understand the services and the products, you could be successful. You understand, because everyone needs some type of financial service, whether it's insurance, investments, whatever it is. Everyone is interested in making more money or allowing their money to grow for them and compound. Everybody is interested, so that's definitely one.
What's another one?
One.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
So I would say, while Ezra thinking, I would say anything to do with AI. Yeah. How to make it better for yourself. Think about this. If we was in the early 1900s, and if your business was creating harnesses for the horse and carriage, right? Or you was taming horses, what would you need to know? If you knew Ford was going to come out with a car affordable for every American, what would you do? And you need to question, everybody need to question themselves on AI. Okay, if AI is coming, they're going to become robots. What can I do now to put myself 10, 15, 20 years ahead of the game? And I think if you even step into the AI industry and learn what it do, it's going to take you somewhere else so you can figure out what you could be doing. But you need to step out in order to find out. And also financial services is by far is irreplaceable. I don't think AI is going to replace it. It's going to make it better and efficient for us. But other than that, the third industry will probably be, I can't say real estate anymore because you can buy a home online now. On Zillow. Zillow's taking over. So realtors, you might want to get in the financial industry. I'm just saying.
The AI is good. I would say anything dealing with speaking or content creation, you're always gonna need that. I don't think AI is not gonna, like, the creativity that we have as human beings. AI is not gonna be to that point. When it comes to content creation, I feel as if it is always going to evolve, whether it be entertainment, edutainment, whatever you make, whatever it is. Content creation is something that everyone needs to know how to do.
Okay, I would actually say anything in the people service, anything that has to do with servicing, people to people servicing. You guys have already mentioned financial services, anything that has to do with educating, any type of consultation. What it depends on the entrepreneur is 2 things. 3 things: time, money, and how much do they know on the topic. Because once you know, if you can create the following and you can teach it, you can make money off of it. I think this is a great time for entrepreneurs. I think the world works in cycles, and I think entrepreneurship is going back to what it used to be, where people, one time it was all about go to school, 40 years, retire. And I think now is finish high school because there's a requirement and start a business. There's high school kids starting businesses.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
people want to be paid what they're worth. So that's my opinion on that. But thank you guys for that. And thank you for not being too biased, because there are other things out there. They are, I mentioned in the last episode, I was talking about drop shipping. You could do drop shipping in the US, things like that, and deal with companies that there's so many opportunities. And I think now, because of what's going on and people getting laid off by the hundreds, people have to look at what they call a side gig to make make ends meet. Now's the time. If there was ever a great time for entrepreneurship, I think it's now. I think
Yeah, it's
there's
definitely,
less jobs, more opportunity in that side.
yeah, it's definitely now. You always want to work on some type of skill set. You see, uh, you know, people getting laid off. The government shut down right now. I mean, they're waiting to see. I don't know what's happening, but I think they're gonna wait. They're gonna find out today if the government's gonna shut down. People are not gonna get paid. You want to have something that you could fall back on, make some money on for yourself. You know.
Absolutely.
I got something that's pretty big with these tariffs. And again, this is for people that are doing other things, include, I mean, every entrepreneur, yes, I believe in what you said before, Mark, staying focused on one thing, but every entrepreneur is full. If you're an entrepreneur, your mind's always going like, how can I make that into a business? How can I make that into a business? It's not, you have your focal point, you get great at it, and then you start challenging yourself, right? So with these tariffs, do you think the whole branding of made in the USA is becoming more valuable? And if so, why? If not, why not?
It used to be. That's what I think. When I was a kid, made in the USA was like a big thing, you know. And then we all started to see made in China, made in China, made in China. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what they're trying to do is bring back the love of our country, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just the way you go about it, is important. But having love for your country, having love for things being made domestically, having pride for that, and doing it with quality, I think there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just the way you go about it. That's the thing.
Israel, I got a flashback about what you just said. I remember when I was a kid in elementary, we used to break the pencils like this, and if your pencil said China, the person was gonna lose. Them China pencils used to break like it was nobody's business, right?
Yes.
So, but guess what? The China quality has gotten better over years and evolved. So this is the opportunity for the United States to step it up and say, hey, look, if you want the support, if you want the quality that we had back in the day, we need to step it up. And this is where the competition happens. This is where people will be creative and get better, because a lot of people, I'll be honest with you, a lot of people are defeated. When I think about buying a TV, I'm thinking about a Vizio, I'm thinking about something else, because a Samsung, now, if it's 20-30% more, now if I'm a entrepreneur, I'm a creator, guess what? I'm not afraid of Samsung no more. Now I can create a TV that's even as better for less price and a better quality for my people in America. So I think this is going to make it better. This is what's going to make the United States better as far as production wise.
Yeah.
It's more competition now.
It becomes more competitive. Hey, Takira, how you doing?
Great topic. I agree.
Yes. All right. Okay. So from a different angle, perhaps I think it's definitely bringing us more attention. So a lot of people are definitely looking for products made in the USA. It was, and I agree with Ezra and yourself, Mark, it was a big deal. Back in the day, you could almost see in every commercial, made in USA, this, made in USA, this, made in USA. Somehow we gotten away from that, obviously, because it was costing less money to take your manufacturing outside the US. I mean, I watch Shark Tank. Half of the thing that people talk about is getting manufacturing done outside. And what they look for is like, they sort of look for people getting at a low cost here to keep the economy running. I feel that our money is disappearing. So
Yes.
now I think that's what they're trying to do. But here's the but, and I know somebody says everything after but doesn't matter, but it does. I think it matters here.
The
So I'll
truth
say,
comes after the
however,
butt. The truth
Yeah.
comes after the butt. Go ahead.
I'll say, however,
However,
I feel that being bullied to use it as like to be, I feel that people are being bullied to it. And if you, I think there's better ways to present what is being done in a sense that people can relate to it without feeling like they're being bullied. Like this is how we're
Okay.
doing it. But I
So
guess people don't listen without being bullied sometimes.
so
yeah.
let me
What I'm
tell you
saying,
how would you call it bullying if your mom told you that it's better to buy from your brother than someone else? Is that a bully? Or that's awareness?
It's
Or that's
awareness.
or
Okay.
that's the right thing to do?
It's the
So
right thing to do. It's different. So,
but
all right.
for every change, it's gonna be repercussions. Everybody's gonna uncomfortable no matter what. I want you to look at this. Look at a pile of ants. You see ants running around, right? Especially them black ants. They run around real fast. And you drop a piece of honey, boom, in the middle, they're gonna scatter before they even touch it. They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna scatter like crazy. They're gonna avoid it, but then they're gonna come together and everybody gonna eat the honey together.
yeah.
That's what's happening. That message about the terrorists being dropped on us, boom, now we scatter. Everybody's going chaos, like the ants going chaos. Then guess what? As time progresses, everybody gonna realize that it's gonna be for the best in the long run. But for now, it's gonna hurt us. Temporarily, it's gonna hurt us. But in the
Everything
long run,
temporarily hurts. Yeah.
I think it's gonna help people that want to be creative and that want to see that domestic explosion happen.
Yeah.
I totally
Okay.
agree with Coach.
Okay.
Made in USA,
That,
love it.
that's
Yes.
that's what I hope. I hope that's the case.
Yes. Yeah, it's time for us to it's time for us to roll our sleeves up and get creative and
Yeah.
stop worrying about what's going on and be creative and start a business.
Yes.
Don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. Okay, now you know this is going up 25%. Okay, let me go get some shirts online and brand something and make something up, some jewelry, some hats, something. Be creative now. Let's not, you know,
Yeah,
instead
I
of
agree with that.
vacuum.
So you think people get stuck on bubble gum?
Yes, instead of like,
Right.
for
You feel
example,
people are getting
think
stuck.
about this. I want y'all to think about this. Everybody is arguing about the stock market going down. Is that a great thing or bad thing? Okay, if it's bad, okay, wow, it's bad. But remember during COVID when the stock market went down,
Yeah.
everybody should have bought. You would have been up probably 30, 40, 50% now if you had bought when it went down and started going back up. So this is everybody's opportunity to get in when it's on sale. Everything's going to be on sale.
Yeah.
So don't argue about it. Take your money out of the market right now, unless you got an IUL. Because if you have an IUL, you're smiling still. Now you have 401k, you're going crazy. You like the ants
Yeah.
running around still. You know. So shout out to anybody with 401k. Give Israel Leo a call. Okay.
Yeah.
So
ASAP.
so
ASAP.
so now you have IUL, you'll be smiling right now. But so
Shameless
things for
plug.
yeah. So yeah, so I mean everything, and we're gonna get chaos before the greatness happens. So yeah.
That's a good one. All right. Do you think the next generation of entrepreneurs is ready for the challenges that are coming ahead?
I believe so. Now, this is gonna weed out people that's just doing this for play, or people that's really gonna dig deep. So for those entrepreneurs, they're gonna be ready because once again, there's always gonna be challenges, right? And it's always gonna be tough. And we're human. We're gonna go through it. But you're gonna look and be like, okay, what is the other alternative? You're gonna go back to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to clock in, you're gonna have to get paid $15, $20 an hour. Like you're gonna, nothing wrong with people working, but when you taste being an entrepreneur, you don't want to go back to work. You wanna figure it out. Like you embrace the challenge. Like it's tough. Yeah, trust me, it's tough. But you want to embrace the challenge and get back to work. And you might be down, but they'll get through it. Now it's gonna weed out some of those that are play because they're gonna be like, well, I gave it my best and I that's it. But a true entrepreneur, they may fall down, but when they see that opportunity again, they're going for it.
So, Leo, that was a great
Interesting.
answer. Leo, what's your definition of ready?
I'm sorry?
Before I answer, you said if the entrepreneurs that's about to come in, right, are they ready? What's your definition of ready?
Yeah, that's true. What's your definition of ready?
Are they prepared for the challenges? Like, because like Ezra says, there's ups and there's downs. So let's talk about the challenges, because everybody's ready to succeed. I mean, you come into entrepreneurship with a dream, a hope, and a dream, and you're ready. You're really thinking success. But what happens when are you ready for the challenges?
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're in distribution and this came out, all these tariffs coming to affect you. I mean, we know of people that lost their businesses because they can't do importing of flowers, and things like that. That is really, it is going to destroy some people's businesses. But do you think they're ready? So I'm ready for challenges, for that kind of, I guess, challenge and downfall, for change.
Okay, so this is my answer. I remember I seen a quote. It says, "Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times." So it depends on where the new entrepreneurs in that cycle. It depends where they at.
That's good.
Because they said my daddy walked to school, right? I rode a bicycle. My son has a Ferrari, and my grandson is going to be back walking to school. That's what they say. So it depends on where you're at on that cycle. If you're anything like the Rockefellers and you don't want to be like the Vanderbilts, what you should be doing right now as a parent or people that you're mentoring, you want to pass down principles. I think the principles are going to make sure that the entrepreneurs is ready. Who are mentoring these entrepreneurs? Who are making them ready? Because it's hard to just be okay. You can wake up in the morning and say, "Okay, I want to be an entrepreneur," but are they going to humble themselves and say, "You know what? I want to be an entrepreneur, and I know who I want to be. Let me find someone that's as close to where I want to become, and have that person mentor me." Now, well, I practice humility to do that. Are they willing to do that? This generation? That's the question. I don't know. It depends on where they're at on that cycle. It depends.
That's a very interesting way to look at it. It is. Basically, I think that's another thing that makes nowadays easier, is that most businesses, if you look, come with a mentor. Obviously, the coming is not that it comes for free. You gotta pay.
You gotta pay, man.
But back in the day, there was no mentors, so you were or gonna become the mentor. So back to that other question too: what are the businesses? There's mentorship. There's people that actually charge for just mentorship. Period. I've been blessed that I didn't have to deal with that. But you know what? Mentorship is just as important as counseling. That's all it is. It's just focused, and I think it's important. I think it's important to keep your mind strong and seek mentorship. Especially, here's the thing: if they don't pay, they don't seem to pay attention, and sometimes you got to pay to play. And I think if you get yourself a mentor, whichever means that you get it, if you appreciate what you're getting, I think that anybody that has that kind of can steal that belief, can steal their preparation, then you will be ready. Because you might not be ready yourself, but you probably were never ready to start, but you have someone that's going to help you along the way.
Like you said earlier, you're collapsing time. You're transporting, you're skipping so many steps. You're saving at least 5 to 10 years by having someone that has more experience and that's been in the journey you're going through, lay out the foundation of, hey, this is what you're going to see, this is what you'll avoid, this and that. That's humility. You need to practice humility and do that. Transporting time.
One final question for you, gentlemen. Here we go. All right. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger entrepreneurial self, what would it be?
Okay, I'll go. Seek counseling at any cost.
That's good.
Okay. Seek
Do not
counseling
do
at any
not
cost.
wait. Do not wait to be counseled or mentored. Go look for it. Go and search for the information. Stop waiting. I was waiting.
Mm,
I thought if I was just patient enough, that was going to come to me instead of me going to get it. I didn't know that. I didn't have the awareness. Well, let me go back then. I wish I had more awareness
Yeah.
to seek counsel
okay.
sooner.
That's
Ezra, what do you
that's
got?
literally what I was gonna say. Because you're gonna bump your head so many times, but if you're able to have a coach, a mentor, someone that consult for you, they're gonna help you avoid those pitfalls. And those pitfalls can take a while for you to dig yourself back out of and start back from ground zero, and you lost time. You know, but I would say um, keep going until the end. Keep going into the end because
Okay.
we think that it's going to be a smooth path. Everything's great. I finally got my stride, but always keep in your mind like, hey, it could all go back down, right? So prepare for what in the Bible, you talk about what Joseph said to Pharaoh, like you're gonna have 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. Prepare for the famine season. You know what I mean? So
That's
when
good.
don't let your foot off the gas when things are going good. Keep going because eventually sometimes the market might go down a little. You just never know what's going to happen, so prepare for that famine season. I would say that.
I love it.
My thing would be, don't be afraid to take a risk and believe in
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I think that not believing in yourself, if it's something deep down inside you that makes you want to become an entrepreneur, makes you want to get into any aspect, any business, I think some people overthink the process.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many people that have done just about anything that we could think of right now. There's people that like you said, seek mentorship. There's anything you have to do to push yourself over the edge, jump.
Mm.
Just jump.
Yeah.
If you jump, you will end up flying, but you got to believe you can. So I think that we hold ourselves back. So that would have been mine, is especially to myself, is just do
Yeah.
it. Criticism is going to hold you back. Your family is going to hold you back. You got to remember that everybody is born as an individual. And the problem is that we wait to see what other people's opinion is to see if it's something worth doing or not doing. Like, hey, what do you think? I want to start a party city. What are you, crazy? Party cities are closing down. Well, if you really believed in it, you just do it. Why wait for validation? I think validation has really hurt a lot of people that are thinking about starting a business. How many people you guys know, that love cooking, can cook from home, but won't take the steps necessary to try to start selling meals? And then comes somebody that can't cook, but they got great packaging and they believe in themselves. They put in a package, sell it, and make millions.
Yeah.
It's just they weren't afraid. I think is honestly the message would be to myself to believe in myself. Because if other people believe in you, they're trying to tell you something.
Oh, facts. Facts.
So that's why I go with that. Any final thoughts and remarks from you two gentlemen?
So this was a great one. What I was, based on what you said, Leo, I would suggest for everyone to watch two movies. The first one would be The Founders. That's the story of McDonald's, on how they mass produced McDonald's, and another documentary, How America Was Made. I would suggest everyone watch these two documentaries, these two movies, and I think it's gonna give you more perspective of what's about to come, because history repeats itself. It always repeats itself. It depends on it. It just comes back into a different form. So entrepreneurship is a great thing. What, like Ezra said, once you have a taste of it, you won't go back, because it's not all about the money. It's being given, it's being a service for people. Not only that, because the Bible said that's what you should do, be service for other men and other women, but it's the freedom that comes on along with it. The freedom to do whatever you want. When I say do whatever you want, you can take your kids to school at a later time to have breakfast with them. You could pick them up early and have an early lunch with them. You could have a daddy-daughter day. You could have a mother-son day. You could go on to Orlando and enjoy vacation on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and not having to wait on a Saturday, Sunday. You could go to that doctor appointment in the middle of the week. You could fly your spouse to the Maldives and come back and not have no repercussions. So freedom is irreplaceable. And this is why everyone comes and want to be in this country, because we are free.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Ezra.
Yeah. I mean,
any final thoughts,
I would
remarks?
say, man, anybody that's interested in starting a business, just do it. Do it with whatever you have. Don't wait for, oh, I need this, I need that. Just do it. I mean, when you look at, I'm astounded. One of the things especially on TikTok, you know, there's people that they don't have the best quality cameras. They're using their cell phone, and they're making great content. They just do it. There's this dude. He's in his closet and he's screaming at people, and he's getting millions of views. You know, like people that know who I'm talking about. His name is Ruler, and all he does is scream, and people in the closet, and he's getting millions and millions of views. Like just do it. Whatever. Just like you have whatever's pizza, ice cream, lemonade, whatever idea you have. Just do it. Try it. Don't be afraid of success. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. You know, and when you're not afraid of failure, that's when you will succeed.
We have a question before I give my closing remarks here. This is a good one. How do you stay motivated when things don't go as planned? I start with prayer. Always. I'm not gonna lie, prayer. I seek counsel from mentorship, because when things are not going as planned, I try to catch things early. If you're paying attention to your business, you could catch things earlier. It's easier to recover from things not going as planned. And I do a lot of personal development. So with personal development, coach said something earlier, everything comes back around. Everything goes in circles. History repeats itself, right? Some of these books that we read, the same problem. I mean, man, I saw, actually you were doing it. There was this guy talking about, and it was actually not this guy, Mark was talking about outwitting the devil. Though, if you guys look, when Outwitting the Devil came out, those same problems are here today, now. The same, they're happening now, and they're leaving you breadcrumbs on how to solve the problem. Just change the engineering on what's going on now, but the problem is the same. Therefore, the solution must be the same. It's just a matter of really staying in tune, aware, and don't be afraid to open your mouth and say you don't know how to fix a problem. I think a lot of people have too much pride. Pride and ego, you can't have pride, ego, and be rich. Like you got to give something up. You got to cut those things off in order to elevate. So I'm okay with saying, hey, I don't know how to do that. Or how do I fix this? How have you fixed it? And it always leads back to mentorship, in my opinion, that people have paved the road. Why aren't you just following the path they cut?
Yeah.
So, I love obstacles. I love when things don't go, because most of the things that not supposed to go right is in my plans already, because the person that's mentoring me told me that this is what's going to happen. Look out for this. But I use that as a learning experience, because I want to go through this, because if I went through it, that means whoever I'm mentoring and coaching is going to go through it, and I found the solution because I'm still here. There's nothing I have experienced in the last 15 years that's going to make me say, you know what, I'm done doing what I'm doing. So if it's not that bad to say, you know what, you should stop doing what you quit doing, ignore it. It's part of the plan. Learn from
part of the plan.
Learn from it and get over it as fast as possible, find a solution, and note it so that when somebody behind you come behind you, you have a playbook for them, a strategy for them to overcome it faster or avoid it.
Yeah, and I would say
Okay.
when things don't go as planned, this is an opportunity, and that's what I learned. This is an opportunity to kind of flip that into a positive thing. Like, man, you say to yourself, man, this is not going well, but look how committed I still am. I'm still gonna be successful even with this situation. Like, it's a whole mind flip. Like, nothing can't stop me, man. Okay, this person canceled or this sale didn't go through. All right, that's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna still keep it pushing. And it just shows you how resilient you are, how much grit you have in your business. Like, you become a warrior, you become an athlete. Like, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to get opposition. I'm supposed to get situations that may surprise me. It may be a gut check. Okay, do you still want to do this? But you look back and like, oh, I survived that. Oh, okay. When it happened again, I've been through this before. It ain't nothing. Let's keep it pushing. So it just makes you more stronger and gives you that grit, gives you that callus that you need to survive, because you need tough skin to survive being an entrepreneur.
Yes, you do. My closing thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Well, first, I want to thank you guys for coming on on this platform, expressing your thoughts, not knowing what I was gonna ask, and speaking freely from the mind. Backstage is like, hey, what we're talking about? It doesn't matter. I want raw, so I'm not telling you. So I want to thank you for taking up that challenge. And hey, guys, if any of you that are watching ever wants to come up here, just let me know. You know how to find me. You can even just drop it right underneath one of these episodes, and you can come up here and express your thoughts on entrepreneurship and what's going on. My final thoughts for everybody is, if you're thinking about starting your own business, if you're thinking about going into business with someone, if you're just thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, the best words I heard today is just do it. I know it's not our slogan, but just do it. Don't worry about if tariffs are going to be an obstacle or they're going to be an opportunity. Just do it. I mean, one of the things I could take away from this is that one thing's for sure and two things for certain. There's going to be an obstacle either way. So at the end of the day, it's not going to be given to you. It's not going to be free, and it's going to require work. The more work that you do, the harder you work, the luckier you'll get. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to speak to you guys today. Thank you to my guests, and we will see you on the next episode of the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. Thank you.